Hello, Warriors. AJ, David, how's everyone doing?
Good early morning, Dale.
How are you, Kman?
Very well, thank you.
Okay, so the yen's exploding today, buddy. So we were talking about that yesterday.
Yeah,
Now does the potential of, can you see my charts?
I do. I see your alert on the sterling Kiwi.
All right, thank you, buddy. So doesn't look like it would take much for this to, you know,
No,
try new high.
no prisoners taken.
Yeah.
Yields flying. Yeah, mainly the yields, and then we had the Vice BOJ Governor Wakatabe out overnight. He's a dove, but I mean they're still looking to ease, of course, the usual comments that yen should reflect fundamentals, but they, for the time being, they don't do anything about it. We're still 2 weeks away from the BOJ.
Yeah.
Anything can happen if the rest of the world's yields rise. Who is going to want to hold yen, right? And that's the issue. It's not only the dollar yields that rise; it's all the rest of the rest of the world's yields are rising, and Bank of Japan keeping theirs ultra low. So
yeah, the energy of this chart, of this bounce compared to the yen, just keep that in mind, doesn't seem to have the same type of juice. And it's possible, I think the long end, Jim Welsh definitely, called this. He thought we were going to get up to 122, and we got up to 120 and starting to look like a failure in the bonds. I think it's possible for the long end to these to make new lows and new highs in yields on the long end, which, Fed guide, the great steepening, right? So that's still going on without the 10-year taking out 3.25. It's possible that the 10-year, even with this going on, only heads back up to maybe about 3% here. Another 13 bips.
Steepening of the US curve is also typically bearish yen, right?
Yeah. So,
which is interesting, and that's a while back, but which is interesting. I read that the Japanese were lengthening the maturities a bit, and they were now getting interested in the 20-year dollar as well, which is trading above the 30 even. So meaning that they still show an appetite because if they want to buy US bonds, if it's not fully hedged, they have to buy dollars as well. So all of that is still helping to keep the yen in check.
What could change a picture and everything is, it's pretty classic that the oil yesterday on the European ban of Russian oil spiked, and then reversed on that news.
On
I'm
OPEC.
just saying. Yeah, OPEC and with Russian, it seems like maybe there was some type of grand bargain between us and the Saudis where we made up, even though, when Biden came in, he condemned the killing of that reporter. I think his name was Khashoggi or something. Right, in Turkey. So, the one thing that could change is if no one thinks it can happen, is that we have a failing rally here and oil starts heading down. I mean, most people, and it is pretty crowded when you say it's hard with the way oil held up and what's going on to be bearish oil and, see, gas prices, the refined products are outperforming the oil. So the gasoline, the diesel, they're all making new all-time highs, even though WTI hasn't. But I think this is probably the most important market on the board. And for some reason, if they could pull some type of trick out, I mean, I don't know how they're going to do it with China reopening unless they shut down again.
There were a few rumors flying around after those OPEC comments that UAE and Saudi Arabia may start to ramp up their own production and output, which also put the oil a couple of bucks lower. If energy starts to come off, let's put it that way, that would be one factor to hold the yen slide as well.
Right.
Because they are like huge importers, right?
Yeah. So, just something to keep in mind, guys. Nat gas, definitely, someone in the room called out a 3 drive last week. So that's great that you guys are learning. Who was it? Who saw that up there and brought it up? Oil gold ratio, Michael Bergman. Michael, all right. Did you short it up here? Okay. So, are you a member of our community? Mike, are you in the chat rooms helping people out? Because you have an eye. Oh, okay. Great, Mike. All right, well, nice trade.
Don't hesitate to bring them up in the room. We can always talk about any trade setups that you see, right?
I know why he's saying you're not new to the market, so Michael, you're new to ForexAnalytix, right?
He's got an eye.
He's got an eagle eye here, Blake.
The eye of the tiger.
Yeah, so
he's got a pirate's eye.
He's going into the highway to the danger zone. Oh no, sorry, I'm
all of those. You're like,
wow. It's really, everything just went severely downhill just a moment ago. It was awesome. How are you guys doing?
When you and Stel came online.
Hey, if you guys don't mind, I've got to step away from my keyboard for about 5 minutes or so. I'll be right back though. Okay.
Oh, no, then will you play us a tune?
You guys will have fun.
Will you play us a tune when you get back to your keyboard?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hey
Blake
guys, good
keyboard.
morning. How are you, Coach?
Hey, buddy. So silver's acting a little better than gold. I still want silver lower, but gold's within $10 because I don't think we're going to make a new low.
We are still chopping.
Put in a higher low. Yeah,
we're still chopping either way, any way you look at it. And the question is, will we get a new low below 20.50, $20.5 in silver, or not? That's the question. Let's see. I think the market is gonna try and test that going into the.
That's a 20.50 into the Fed.
Yeah, into the Fed, or maybe after the Fed. I don't know. It depends on how things go. But at the moment, we're still chopping sideways. What I was saying on the flow show with Kman, who by the way is really great. I think he should replace Ryan. No, I'm kidding. I was saying that 10-year yields US is still what I'm looking at, and if you look at actually, let me take the screen for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Hold on.
Oh, I have to stop so you could grab it.
What is this? Here, delete that. I moved it by accident. Okay, let me go share screen, desktop one, share. So you can see my screen?
Yeah.
Great. So, I look at daily charts. They almost never look at anything more, anything smaller time frame. And, after the COVID lows, obviously yield started rising, but really it was this move from early March to early May, which took us 150 basis points, basically higher within 2 months, which was really quite dramatic. And we've been talking about it, the 50 DMA, which we touched, and we have reversed off. And what I was saying was that I think this pullback is really shallow, given how impulsive the move higher was. This is a really shallow pullback. And actually, let's have a look.
Probably not even 23%.
Yeah, it didn't even reach 38.2. So it's a very shallow pullback, and it looks like some kind of corrective bullish wedgie thingy. I don't know the names of these things, but my view remains that A, yields are driving things, and B, yields are going to drive higher. And as long as inflation keeps going up, and as long as the rate of change of inflation is not decreasing, I mean, it's not. We saw 8.2% year on year in the Eurozone. It's, what is it, high sevens in the US. It's very high. And I was reading some comments today. I think it was Dudley, the ex-Federal Reserve member, who was saying that the neutral level of rates has to be quite a bit higher for quite a bit longer than markets are anticipating in order for inflation to come lower. And I agree with that. And as long as inflation is high, and as long as the central banks are telling us that they're going to be trying to fight this inflation, I don't see how 10-year yields in the US, in the Bund, everywhere can stay where they are. I think they're going to go higher. And as a result, as yields go higher, and I think we're going to break these, we're definitely going to test these 320 highs. I think we're going to break through. As long as that happens, I don't see a scenario where equities manage to retain their any kind of foothold. And we again on the S&P. Oh, come on, don't do that. Undo. So we've had this drop from 4,800 to 3,800 in the S&P, and we're trying to bounce back. We're talking about 4,150, 4,200 being a pretty decent level for resistance. And well, that's where we found resistance. And as yields rise, I think stocks are going to drop. The question in everybody's minds, I guess, is, where do you buy this? Because if you look in a long enough time frame, every equity index is going to be a lot higher. So where do you get in? And where do you buy the dip? That's the billion-dollar question. I remain of the opinion that we're going to try and test these pre-COVID highs, 33, 3,400. And at which point I think the Fed is going to really, really tell us that they've got our back. And
maybe Biden called them to the carpet yesterday, on the carpet, Stel.
Yeah.
And, there was, one of the things that, everyone calls Greenspan the maestro. But one of his concertos was to tighten during an election that we had a minor recession and Bush lost to Clinton.
Yeah.
And it was the Fed. So, I mean, I do have to think that, continuing to tighten into October or wherever is not going to be a great political situation for, we already know Biden's popularity, I think, is lower than the former president.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it was about. Maybe they hike at the next meeting and give some, they're supposed to do QT.
Yeah.
Will he fold? I mean, he did fold to Trump when Trump wanted lower rates, right? Didn't he fold that pressure?
And also, the meeting yesterday, they reaffirmed, oh yes, the Fed is independent. Well,
yeah, right.
Why the need to affirm it? It's like affirming that the sun comes up and it sets again. It's by default. Why do you need to affirm it? If you affirm it, if there's doubt. So anyway,
I think there might be another political. Powell has caved to political pressure before. Yep. And he also is a student of the Fed, so he knows what happened to Bush with Greenspan, and I don't know if he wants that on his record that he influenced an election by I think Fed guys calling it turbo tightening now.
Yeah, turbo. They do as much as they can early, and then they kind of stop before the midterms, right, or something like that.
Yeah. Maybe they stop in July, and they could say, well, let's see what happens, especially if they could get a break in crude. I know it's a long shot, but it is potentially a topping formation. So I could be all wet. Huh?
Yeah, that will be a great excuse, or a great reason why you can kind of take the foot off the accelerator. Look, oil is crashing. This is going to in a couple of months' time is going to translate into energy prices, the economy, etc. So why over tighten? Yeah, it could happen.
Yeah, just something outside the box.
Yeah,
outside my padded cell. So okay, what else is on your mind?
Nothing. I mean, overall, you guys know my views. I still think the euro dollar should be bought on dips.
Where?
And so I would love to see 106. It's not that far away.
No, could happen.
106, I think, is a good level. And then really 108 is the point where if we break, somebody's put an alert here. There you go. Somebody put 108.10. I bet it's Blake. If we break 108.10, I think that's the signal for another move. And we go, we probably go and test 110 after that or something like that. But I still think the euro should be bought on dips. I think the ECB is far behind in terms of monetary policy and what they need to be doing. Yes, the market is pricing hikes now, but I think they might surprise us a little bit. I know it sounds crazy to say about the ECB. They never surprise the hawkish side, but I think the way things are going, they might have to. And, they don't actually have to deliver. All you need if you're long the euro is for the market to price it. And, that's your trade. So I think the euro should be bought on dips. Obviously, I've been wrong in the past. I could be wrong, but that's my view. And the same with against sterling. I've said this quite a few times. When we were testing these 82s, 83s, I said, look, I think we're going to bounce. We're going to head towards the 90. And the combination of the euro, which I think is going to find support, and sterling seeing more weakness, I think is going to drive it towards that 90 figure. And sterling, I'm finding it's still very hard to find reasons to be bullish sterling. There's just too many negatives at the moment, and so I think euro pound is still a buy. So I would love to see something like 84.60. What's that? The 50 DMA. That will probably be a nice level if we pull back there.
Yeah, I mean, just a measured move, 82, 86, 400 pips. Over 86, there's your 90.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning, guys. I'm sorry I had to step away for a few minutes. I was going to ask, have you guys had an opportunity to talk about the Aussie a little bit?
No.
Hello?
We were waiting for you.
Oh, okay.
It's the strongest one, isn't it?
Is Stel literally? Okay, there we go.
No.
He was on the phone.
Muted me. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Thank you, Stel. Nice looks. I love your charts.
All right. Well, hey, I'm glad you're waiting for me. You guys talked a little bit about the and sorry, I had to step away for a few minutes. Early morning here. It's 5 o'clock in the morning, but I had to be away from my desk for a second. But you talked a little bit about China's reopening slowly. Take a look at the Aussie and this bullish move that we're getting in the Aussie right now. We're challenging trend highs, and this is a very, very bullish consolidation. You can see over the last 24 hours, the euro. The euro's pulled back to the 107 level from nearing 108. And
Aussie didn't pull back at all.
Nothing. Nada. Nilch. Zilch. Nilch. I just made up that word, but zilch, nothing. And it's just really been a bullish consolidation. So if you guys are, you imagine anybody who is, bullish dollars, they played the euro to the short side. The sterling just broke into new lows, overnight. The Aussie, nothing. So, you get those dollar bulls that are like, oh my God, I've got to cover, my Aussie dollar shorts. And here we go, pop into new highs. I mean, the Aussie has been a beast ever since we traded below 70 cents and gave, people an opportunity to be on the long side. But, take a look at it now. I think it's got a lot further to go. And, when you're taking the Aussie that, you just look at a measured move here, we're talking above these recent highs and maybe to 73.30. So, if you are bearish the dollar, I think this is one of those pairs that you have to look at. I know Stelios was just talking about, buying the euro, but why not buy it? Why not buy a currency that is already super strong? Kiwi is very similar, but the Aussie has had very little pullback. You can see the commodity currencies are strong, and take a look at the emerging market currencies. I don't think you should discount these either. The dollar mex, we traded to new 2022 lows, and I guess you could probably say we broke. We saw lows that we haven't seen since the COVID lockdown. So, we've bounced back a little bit after probing those levels, but still, I mean, these emerging market currencies continue to look really strong. Now I wanted to go back really quick. I think you guys did talk about precious metals. Dale, did you guys cover those yet?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, but go ahead.
Oh, your microphone is up on your head. Sorry. So, it's fine. But you can see gold has pulled back to the 1830 level. We've talked about here at the at ForexAnalytix, at least during the Morning Edge webinar, which, by the way, the Morning Edge show, if you will, is for the ForexAnalytix subscribers, and we do that right after, a few minutes after this, the Dale's interview, and it's exclusive for our traders. But we've been talking about the 1830 level being very key support. And actually, you can see it right here as we build out this, what we call this bias chart every day, and we've talked about this you can see it right here, 1830 to 1870 range, and we came within. Well, I guess we actually dropped 1.5 points below that 1830 level that we talked about yesterday. So if you guys are gold bulls or precious metal bulls, these are the levels that you got to be looking to be a buyer. And I'm not saying that I'm bullish, because I'm not necessarily, not right now, but if you're trading a range, this is the level that you take shots at, because it's the best risk reward you're going to find.
Did you talk about Gregor's pattern in play? He's long.
I did not. I didn't want to give that away to anybody who wasn't a subscriber. But since Stelios is all about giving out freebies to everybody, actually Gregor just put in a bullish gold pattern in play today. These are what a pattern in play is, for those of you that are not familiar. These are kind of by the book trades that the team manually identifies, because we don't do automated, things here. And there are patterns in play that we identify or may see, but we don't end up putting them in live. You can see over time, and this is pretty accurate if you talk to traders that have been doing this for a long time. This is our entire team, and you can go back 67 pages, 6 years worth of patterns in play, and you can see the average winning pips is about 52%, which and then you can see the total number of pips and all that other stuff. But all of our statistics are here. You can go back to each and every one of them. But they are put in by our entire team. It's not just me or just Stelios or just Steve. It's our entire team. So anyway, that's what that is. And Grega is going long right now. So have you joined Grega, Stelios?
Now, no, but I do have I have a core position which I really want to add to in gold, silver, and miners. I have everything.
Oh, okay. Well, then
I think Stel is waiting for the Fed to do anything.
Yeah. I fear there's another little flush lower. That's my fear. That's why I'm not getting in anymore at the moment.
Got it. Okay. Well, if risk continues
in front of it,
but if risk continues to rally, and take it, by the way, you see the Aussie hitting new highs. And I'm going to show you guys, if for those of you that are, you're like, oh, well, I want to, trade ideas, I'm looking for trade ideas. And this is one of the things that we do for ForexAnalytix subscribers. By the way, you guys are all on, Jumbotron for those of you in the chat room. This is our general chat room, but this is the trades room. Like you can go here and say, oh, well, Blake is long the Aussie dollar, short dollar MEX, he's short dollar South African Rand, because I just put my trades, my open positions in here. And it's great because if you are in the, and let me put that away. If you're in like the trader funding program and you are trying to access larger amounts of money, because you know you're in an assessment and you're like, I'm trying to get into a $250,000 account, for example, and you took an assessment and you want trade ideas. One of the reasons why we give ForexAnalytix, the premium service, away to people that are going through their assessment for a period of time is so you have trade ideas. And so we give that as complimentary to those of you that are joining the trader funding program. Just FYI, because we don't put a time limit on you to pass, but we do put a time limit on how long you'll have ForexAnalytix for complimentary. But we give you the premium version, so you're inside of our community, having trade ideas. So you could use the patterns in play that you see here, like Grega's new gold long pattern in play, or you could go over to inside the trades room, and then you got you're not just myself. You've got myself and Kman's in there. DK is talking about what trades he's in, and this has just been overnight. Mark is talking about stuff that he's in. So it really, it depends what time of day you're trading, and just some ideas. It's kind of a slow day if you guys can't tell already. So kind of finding things to discuss. Let me ask you this, Kman. I don't know if you're still here. We do have Canadian rate decision today.
Yes.
Yeah. So do you have any thoughts about the Canadian? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm very bullish to Canadian yen, but we have we have a butterfly pattern setting up, and it's like that could be a reversal, but flip side is I don't know if I really want to stand in front of it as we approach 103. You have any thoughts on the BOC today?
And look at that bull flag between your two red lines. If you zoom out a little bit.
Oh, very much so.
I'm seeing flags all around today. In the yen pairs, it's flagging. Every pair that you look at, it's flagging severely. So the Bank of Canada, I'm with the consensus, really 50 BPs. I don't see a reason why they would really want to surprise. There are some people calling in the market that we could see a 75 BP, but then I think that kind of call got cooled down a little bit by the lower than expected Q1 GDP that came out a while ago. Still, the labor market good enough, the rest of the data good enough to just continue the 50 BP path. Think we are on interesting levels here in the dollar Canada. If we post Bank of Canada continue to trade below 126.3550, we might be on our way to 125 again in the dollar Canada. And then the other Canada pairs, especially Canada yen, of course, it's impulsive. It's impulsive. Break 103, it could really explode. And I think around 101 and a half-ish. Down to the 101, it's a pretty decent zone. We spoke about that on the Flow show as well.
And I looking at the dollar Canadian, I think it's been really choppy, but we are back below the 200-day moving average, and you can see like this channel, very very rough channel in the dollar CAD. We have some downside here. If we clear like 126, the next support is really at 125, and I mean 100 pips is not something you just shake a stick at. There is room for the Canadian currency to rally. And if you look at, as Kman was pointing out, you look at the Canadian yen, you look at the dollar CAD, there is some room to run. Especially, I'm sorry?
I was looking at sterling CAD. Well, I didn't talk about it, but I was looking at sterling CAD this morning. It's pretty impressive as well.
This is a serious breakdown. I mean, I mean, this is a big time. I don't trade it that often, but when I do, I trade to kill. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Anyway, but you look at the sterling Canadian. I mean, that is heavy. That's a weekly chart, by the way. So I'm
not a fan of sterling either. So I'm actually long euro sterling. trying to sell cable rallies. I'm not a big fan of the sterling, and
Yes, don't be
despite
penny wise and
everything
pound foolish.
There you go, Dale. Attaboy. That's exactly what, those are good ones. Hey, I want to say thank you guys for all your thoughts and ideas and everything else. We have Dale has an interview coming up, and we have ISM data coming out today. So just I want everybody to also keep in mind that we have ISM manufacturing data today. We won't get our services data till next week. But this is non-farm payroll week, payroll week. So in about an hour and a half, you'll get that data, and you'll have the Bank of Canada as well. So might be some market moving stuff. Dale, I'm going to pass it over to you. Kman, Stelios. I know he probably already left.
Well, you could close it or go on, Blake.
I'm here.
To tell you
because what
our guest is ill today. And just let me know. So he's we're not going to have Sala today.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll close it down here in a second. I guess just any last minute thoughts from you, Stelios or Kman. It's been kind of a slow overnight session.
Yeah, we're gonna be.
Stelios, you're breaking up.
Breaking up.
Do you have any?
You were breaking up, buddy.
Interesting comments, let's say. So no, Kman, maybe.
Hey. I have a question.
He didn't even hear us telling him he was breaking up. Go ahead, Kman.
Dale, go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to know, Blake, if you knew Michael Green, Professor Plum, because he seemed surprised that I didn't know who he was.
I've seen him around. I think I just started following him over the last year.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're bringing him on Friday, right?
Yeah, Nasel Haji helped me get him, but I said, could I have your last name, please? He goes, are you kidding? So anyway, I was wondering if you...
Do you know who I am?
Yeah.
Don't you know who I am, Dale?
I know. Everyone knows.
Don't you know who I am?
I'm doing it in the closet. You know how I don't like attention. Right? I'm shy.
No, I know who he is because I follow him on Twitter, but I don't know his name. I think there was an interview. He's done an interview on like Real Vision, or he does interviews there or something like that. So I know he's got a following.
Yeah. Okay.
What's that?
Okay. So he's Raul doesn't interview anyone, but people that will generate a lot of leads for him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, that's a different. I don't want to go into that. Anyway, hey Dale, thank you for being here, and maybe you can reschedule your guest. And I want to thank everybody for being here with us today. I know it's kind of it was a slow overnight session, but Carlos actually he just said he got long and made a few pips on the Aussie, which is awesome. I actually added to my Aussie while we were sitting here because it's breaking out, and we have a flag pattern that's got some room to move. So, and I don't know if you saw copper. Copper's ripping right now. In case you missed it, let me just pull it up really fast. Where is my copper chart? Here it is. As you can see, copper is screaming higher this morning, and you can see this is an hourly chart. We're trying to break out just out of a nice little base. So one of the tailwinds that the Aussie has right now. So hopefully, like I said, Carlos got some Aussie dollars. Hopefully some of you guys did as well, because it's a slow day and it's always nice to make money when the market's not moving a whole lot. So
any day is a good day to make money.
That's right. That's what makes trading fun. So anyway, thanks Dale. Thanks Kman. Thanks Stelios. We'll see you guys on the morning edge.
Yeah. So join the guys in 45 minutes and have a great day, everyone. Thank you very much for hanging out with us. Hope we're adding value. The way to thank us is to help yourself, either in the trader funding program or to help yourself with being part of the community. I believe his name was Michael today, who recognized that natural gas top. So good luck today. Don't just count your pips, count your blessings. See everyone tomorrow.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Michael, Laura, and our whole family, Blake.
You got it.
All right, buddy. Adios.
Ciao.